behalf of my family, I would like to begin by thanking everyone that is here today, especially those that have traveled from afar, and for those who have sent their condolences. We have received countless phone calls, emails, texts, flowers, meals, visits, thoughts, and prayers, and they have both been comforting during this difficult time and have been a reminder of the impact my dad had on so many others. It's difficult to stand before you today and attempt to honor my dad in words. It's never an easy task to capture someone in speech, as words frequently fall short of capturing someone's true essence. And in this case, it's hard to do when you really don't want to write a goodbye speech for your dad. Nevertheless, as per usual, my dad inspired me to continue on with this, because it's through his experiences that I stand here and think, Enza, do not feel sorry for yourself. You lost your dad in your 40s. My dad lost his when he was 25, and he sadly lost his mom when he was 15. He described it as feelings of the end of the world. He felt destroyed. So by 25, my dad was parentless, and yet he continued to prove himself successful. He moved to Germany after his mom passed, and then to England, where he stayed for a while, and then to Canada, where he met the love of his life, my mom. My dad amazed us as a father and husband, and seemed to be self-taught with so many important life skills, morally and physically. My dad was always my hero, as most daughters look at their dad. But without bias, I've never been more amazed and grateful to have such a person in my life. He was such a hard worker and provider, and he put 150% in whatever he did. We never had to worry about running out of food, detergent, music, humor, and just life. I always remember him saying to me, "You have to like yourself." And although a simple phrase, I understood what he meant. You have to like yourself first in order to be happy and live your life with no regrets. My dad wasn't one to show his affection or say things like, "I love you" freely, but when he did, he meant it. He always said that my love is in here, and I show my love by my actions. He was never fake. He was the type of dad that made you feel wonderful when I walked into a room, regardless of it being a room of 5 or 500. He would always beam when my brother or I, or his grandchildren walked in. My dad, as most of you know, wrote a lot of his own music, lyrics, and songs. It's the way he expressed himself. We've been reading and listening to them a lot these last few days. I am blown away at the talent my dad had, and I feel I never gave him enough credit and praise for the artist and poet that stood before me. My dad wrote a lot of his music through the inspiration he found from others, places he has visited, or experiences he had. One of his songs he wrote for his dad that explained his feelings of what he felt when he lost him. Quando si nasce è un po' presto e ancora non si sa che ogni cosa che inizia la fine poi avrà. Era un uomo facile, semplice ed allegro, senza tanti scrupoli, era un uomo serio. Dio, lui mi mancherà, io ancora non ci credo. Chi mi consiglierà nei momenti difficili. The irony is that that's how I feel about losing you, Pa. Thank you for all that you were and bringing a smile to so many. Thank you.
Thank you also everybody for being here and watching online. You know, a week ago today was the longest day of my life. When I started thinking about what I was going to say today, I had so many thoughts, memories, words that came to me, but I wasn't sure how to put it all together. Then I thought of my father. He always told me, talk from the heart with passion and respect. Speaking from the heart with passion and respect, I feel sums up how my father lived his life, whether it's his family, gardening, running, and most importantly, his music. These values were the backbone. When I look at my father's life, I feel he had his early struggles of losing his parents, leaving his beloved town, and finally immigrating to Canada all on his own. My father never complained about how his life first started, but rather turned them into beautiful stories and put them into song so others in similar situations can relate. My father was an artist and wanted to share his talent with others, and hopefully they share in his passion. I think my father's biggest accomplishment was our family, as this was something he lost early and treasured so much. Everything he did was for us. He made sure we were always taken care of. My father and I didn't do normal father-son events, but rather we shared unique bonds. My father was ahead of his times with health and wellness, from eating a regimen of nuts, putting avocado on toast, drinking water from the boiled chicoria, and running. Running was something he got me involved in at a young age. My father went on to complete 6 marathons and was a gifted runner, as you can see with all the medals. I still remember the first time I ever beat my dad in a race. He sprinted at the end in hopes I would not beat him, as he was very competitive. I thought I'd be so happy that day. I did beat him, but rather I felt remorse, as I knew that was a transition of life. I know that my dad was proud of my running, because at my first marathon in Chicago, he ran me in the last few miles and encouraged me till I crossed that finish line. My father was smart with money and provided a good life for us. He had a unique ways of saving money and always in search of a deal. My father was even a founding member of an exclusive club, which he called the FREE Club. Free. Finding items for free was a challenge and a reward for him, as he was a master of this art. Another bond we shared was our love for music. Obviously, my father was a gifted singer and a songwriter, and my voice did not match. My father then decided he found the best alternative for me. He bought me a set of speakers and a CD player, and that's how DJ Peppe was born. My first event, my father and I performed together at the Knights of Columbus for a baptism. I was lost on what to do, but my father grabbed the mic and dazzled the crowds in minutes. He showed me the way and in future events, I could see my dad watching me in admiration and would brag that I was his son. As a son or daughter, you think that this day may one day come. I just didn't realize it would come so soon. Life is precious, and as the cliche goes, don't take life for granted. My father didn't take life for granted and lived it to his fullest and touched the lives of many. I never realized that more than during this time by the amount of outreach, responses from people all over the world. Pa, I'm sorry, you have to leave this world so soon. And I wish we could have DJ'd another event or run one more race together. But one thing I'm grateful, I will always have you in your songs. As I close, I want to leave you with the verse of the song my dad wrote for me on my wedding day. Ora prendi la tua strada e incominci la tua vita, come quando un uccellino lascia il nido e se ne va. Pa, I know you left this life now and are flying and singing in the heavens. I love you.